Good afternoon, everyone, for the voting session for the Ways and Means Committee for Thursday, April 8th. We have just a few bills today. Let's start the first bill, Senate Bill 150. Vice Chair Washington.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'll get along if you mind muting yourself. I think we can hear you tapping. But thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 150 is a cross-file of House Bill 181, which we passed. The amendments remove all the Senate amendments because they like to add bad amendments to bills, which add an additional member to the Board of Education in Baltimore County and made members of the nominating committee appointed by the county executive rather than the governor. We move the amendments.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions on the amendment? All right, all those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I move the bill as amended.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, unanimous. Senate Bill 278, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill is in the same posture as the House cross-file, which was House Bill 34. It requires that MSDE and MDH include the provision of telehealth in the promulgated standards for student-based health centers. There are no amendments. I move the bill.
Second.
Any questions? I believe HGO is primary on this bill. No questions? All those in favor of Senate Bill 278?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Delegate Shoemaker, Delegate Rose, Delegate Hartman, Delegate Boatler.
And Bob Long.
Thank you. Thank you. Party line minus Hornbuckle. All right, next bill, Senate Bill 497, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 497 as amended transfers the education of juveniles detained in DJS facilities from MSDE to an independent board established within the Department of Juvenile Services. Protections are put into place to make sure that the newly created body does its duty in adequately educating the students in its care. There are several amendments on this. The first, it says the newly created Juvenile Education Services Program superintendent must submit a blueprint implementation plan to the Accountability and Implementation Board under the Blueprint for Maryland's Future. It puts it in the same posture as any other school jurisdiction here in the state. Number two is we added specified language on how budgeting will work, which is included in the bill. The newly created Juvenile Services Education Board will use departmental supports, but will have full control over the education budget. Number three, the board and DJS will have to sign a memorandum of understanding to delineate their respective duties. For appropriations held by MSDE for the education of juveniles are explicitly transferred to DJS, so making a full transfer of power over to DJS. The final amendment it clarifies exactly which entity the superintendent, the board, or the department has responsibility for which aspects of educational system. With that, Madam Chair, I move the amendments.
Moved and seconded. Any questions on the amendments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Delegate Shoemaker on the amendments?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Shoemaker and Boatler and Rose.
Awesome. I move the bill as amended, Madam Chair. We're secondary on this bill, so we won't see this bill.
Second.
All right, thank you. Any other questions on the bill? All those in favor of the bill as amended?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. Party line minus Buckle and minus Hornberger. 5 votes against. All right, Delegate Lukey, Senate Bill 732.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 732 is a bill we're secondary on to appropriations. It creates a Maryland Innovation Initiative University Partnership Pilot Program that focuses on helping with technology validation and entrepreneurial development. The pilot program is proposed in the bill to be placed at 2 universities that are in the process of sort of developing their research and entrepreneurial pipeline. Those are Bowie State University and Frostburg State University. Move the bill.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you. The last bill on the list, one concurrent still. Senate Bill 830, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill is in the same posture of the House cross file, which was House Bill 1148. It transfers control of the school-based health centers from joint control by MSDE and MDH to sole control by MDH. There are amendments on the bill. I move the bill.
Second.
Any questions? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right. That was unanimous. And then we do have one concurrence, and this is House Bill 319. Delegate Lutke.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 319 is a cross-file of the bill that Feldmark so ably defended on the floor this morning. The amendments on the House bill in the Senate simply add the clarification regarding the disparity grants, that a county that drops the tax rate for lower income folks can still qualify for the disparity grants, and thereby makes it possible for counties that are at the 3.2% rate and want to keep their disparity grants to cut taxes. So I move to concur with the Senate amendments.
Second. All right, moved and seconded. I do see questions. I do want, and we'll come to you. I think Delegate Buckle may have even been one of the ones who asked at the time, what about disparity grant counties? So the Senate was able to fix that. Delegate Buckle with a question?
That's kind of my question. You said that they will be able to reduce taxes for lower income individuals without jeopardizing the disparity grant formula. My recollection in the bill that we voted on today on the floor was $100,000 was the dividing line for if they couldn't reduce taxes for people who made more than $100,000 beyond a certain percentage without suffering somehow a change to the disparity formula. What are we defining as what counties can do for lower income? I mean, where's that cutoff point that says, hey, we can reduce the rate for people in this potential bracket without it having any disparity grant impact? Is that defined as a number?
So let me pull up the bill. George, if you know off the top of your head, go ahead and jump in.
It's not otherwise defined with respect to the authorization to set the brackets in the tax general article. The alterations with respect to the disparity grant system were developed in coordination with the Allen Association of Counties in order to revise that section of law to take into account the authorization for counties to set multiple tax rates.
And George, I'm getting that right. I think $100,000 was a number that was in the amendments that we voted on today. That was sort of a threshold point of you could not reduce beyond a certain percentage for those who made more than 100,000. Is that now the only income suggestion?
Yes, that's the threshold that has been set with respect to the disparity grants.
Okay, thank you.
Delegate Hornberger?
Yeah, just a clarification question. If I'm not moving that 100K plus up to 3.2, can I still make cuts for the lower?
Yes.
In other words, okay.
Yes. So a county, let's say it's, Anne Arundel, which is at like 3.05 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They keep their rate on higher income folks at 3.05, drop it for people, lower down the income scale.
Okay.
And they're not a disparity grant county, so they could.
Right.
All the way
And
down to
the bare minimum, I think, is Wycomico or something that nobody can go below that on any of the brackets.
It's Worcester. It's 2.5, and that's because if a county did, then the state would actually take a revenue hit because we tax out of state income at the lowest piggyback tax rate.
Right. Okay.
All right. I believe Delegate Lutke moved to concur, and there was a second. If there are there any other questions? All right, seeing lost one more person. No, there you are. All those in favor of concurrence?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I never know if this is right, Madam Chair, to just oppose. I don't oppose the concurrent committee wants to.
I
do
know
it.
you support the concurrence, but you don't
Right.
like the bill.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm always wary of, like, I don't know how that gets officially recorded. So, yeah.
No, that's a fair question. Stan, as our most parliamentarian type, can you help answer that question?
I think if you oppose the bill, it's probably better to oppose. the
Vote against the concurrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Madam
all
Chair.
those- All right, all those essentially opposed to the bill,
Aye.
party line minus Hornberger. All right,
That's
All
a
right,
phrase that you've used an awful lot.
Yeah.
on the record there, thank you. Yes. Are there any announcements? Mr. Vice Chair, I'll start with you, but from any of the other subcommittee chairs on future meetings?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will probably meet tomorrow, but I'll get an email out to everyone if we do.
All right, anybody else? Doesn't look like it. Just stay tuned. Obviously, we have 3 more days with multiple sessions probably on each of those days. So there could be some quick voting sessions in between. So see y'all later and go O's.